In the last video, we saw Xiao Yan handle the engagement cancellation. This time, we'll start from the moment Xiao Yan officially takes Yao Lao as his teacher. Hey everyone, it's HKD. In today's video, I'm continuing our deep dive into the original Battle Through the Heavens novel. To cover all the epic parts the anime skipped, I'm here to fill in those gaps and give you the full, uncut story of the Battle Through the Heavens universe. In the original novel, Xiao Yan doesn't even show up at this point. Because of the broken engagement, Xiao Yan felt like he had shamed his father and didn't dare to face him. While it's true that Xiao Yan gives pills to Xiao Yan in the novel, that actually happens much later in the story. We'll talk about that in a future video. At this point, the animation writers combine these two plot segments just to speed things up. However, this actually leaves many people who haven't read Battle Through the Heavens feeling pretty confused and lost, especially when it comes to the later plot. Once I get to that part, you'll see just how much content the writers actually cut out. In the original novel, Xiao Yan is way more furious than in the animation. He lets out a loud shout, screaming, "FKU!" and then rips the ring off his finger, hurling it off the cliff with everything he's got. The animation had to change this scene just to get past the censors. In the original novel, Xiao Yan didn't leave right away. Instead, the very next second after he tossed the spatial ring, he regretted it and tried to grab it midair. But it was too late. The ring had already disappeared over the edge of the cliff. Xiao Yan just stood there, staring blankly into the abyss. He slapped his forehead in frustration, calling himself one big idiot for being so reckless. That spatial ring was the one and only thing his late mother had left for him, and he was devastated that he had messed up and lost it. In the original novel, Yao Lao didn't just agree to teach Xiao Yan alchemy right away. Instead, he hesitated for one long moment, and it was only with great reluctance that he finally asked if Xiao Yan wanted to become an alchemist. The reason for his hesitation was simple. He was terrified that Xiao Yan would eventually betray and murder him, just like Han Feng did. But in order to be resurrected and get his revenge on Han Feng, Yao Lao decided to take one big gamble, and finally made up his mind to ask the question. And of course, as we know now, Xiao Yan never let him down. The anime skipped a pretty important scene, so let me break down what actually happened in the original novel. When Yao Lao asked Xiao Yan if he wanted to become an alchemist, Xiao Yan was skeptical. He said, "The requirements to be an alchemist are incredibly strict. Do I even qualify?" Yao Lao replied, "Well, you're only barely qualified, but since I owe you one big favor, consider this my way of paying you back." Xiao Yan was both excited and suspicious. He questioned, "Even if I qualify, an alchemist usually needs a master to teach them one-on-one. Are you saying you're an alchemist too?" Yao Lao answered with pride, "That's right. I'm indeed an alchemist." At that moment, Xiao Yan suddenly became very respectful, because alchemists are extremely rare in Wu-Tan City. In the novel, Xiao Yan agreed to become an alchemist without a second thought. However, he wasn't really down for the whole formal apprenticeship thing, while Yao Lao seemed to take the master-disciple ritual very seriously. Let me give you guys a quick one-on-one on Chinese culture here. In many traditional Chinese industries, if you want to learn a craft, you don't just sign up for a class, you must perform a formal apprenticeship ceremony. You often have to invite elders from the community to witness the bond. There's an old saying, "Teacher for a day, father for a lifetime." This means the bond between a master and a disciple is just as sacred as family. That's why Yao Lao takes this ritual so seriously. It's not just about teaching, it's about a lifelong commitment. Actually, the original novel never mentions Xiao Yan being cut off from his training resources by the Xia clan. However, the clan's resources were honestly pretty trash to begin with. Their Che methods and Che techniques were mostly limited to the Huang class. Anything at the Shuang class level was strictly reserved for the one clan leader and the elders. So even without being cut off, Xiao Yan was basically stuck with nothing but low-level options. To become an alchemist, one must possess fire attribute Do Che with a subtle trace of wood attribute, and a soul power far exceeding that of ordinary people. In the original novel, right after Xiao Yan officially became Yao Lao's disciple, he immediately asked how he could jump back to 7-star Do Ji Chi within 1 year. Yao Lao pointed out that since Xiao Yan was currently only a 3-star doujiji, his body was way too weak to handle any powerful medicinal pills. The only safe way to speed up his recovery was to use the foundation building elixir instead. It was the one and only solution that wouldn't blow his body apart. So, why did Xiao Yan need to hit 7-star doujiji within 1 year? It's because he had only 1 year left before his coming-of-age ceremony. If he couldn't reach that 7-star mark by then, the Xiao clan would basically kick him out of the main training circle and force him to work at a regular family business. It's like being demoted to a dead-end job for the rest of his life, and Xiao Yan wasn't about to let that happen. But remember, this is the Douchi continent. It's a world where might makes right. If you don't have the strength, you don't have dignity, it's that simple. Without power, you're basically one step away from being wiped out. It's not just about a job, it's about survival. That's why Ziyan was so desperate to change his fate within 1 year. In the original novel, Yao Lao sent Xiao Yan out to buy the ingredients for the foundation building elixir. But as soon as Xiao Yan saw the list and realized how expensive everything was, he flat out told Yao Lao that he was broke. Yao Lao just laughed and told him to go borrow some cash from someone. Since Xiao Yan's power had dropped to 3-star doujiji, only 2 people in the entire Xiao clan still treated him with any kindness: his father, Xiao Yan, and Xiao Xun'er. However, after the humiliation of Nolan Yanran breaking their engagement, Xiao Yan felt like he had let his father down. He couldn't bring himself to ask Xiao Yan for more help, so he was left with only one choice. He had to go and borrow the money from Xiao Xun'er. Let me clarify one thing here. In the original novel, Xiao Yan's monthly allowance wasn't actually that small. He received 20 gold coins every month, which was enough for a regular family to live comfortably for 1 whole year. But here's the kicker: the ingredients for the foundation building elixir cost a staggering 2,000 gold coins. Even after saving every penny and living frugally, Xiao Yan only had less than 500 gold coins in his pocket. That amount of money was barely enough to buy one single monster core. It just goes to show how insanely expensive it is to become an alchemist. In the original novel, monster cores are incredibly versatile. They can be embedded into weapons or armor to boost destructive power or strengthen defenses. But more importantly, a monster core is the one essential core ingredient that an alchemist needs to refine various high-level medicinal pills. It's basically the heart of any powerful item or pill in this world. However, as the story progresses, monster cores are almost exclusively used as the one core ingredient for alchemists to refine high-level medicinal pills. You rarely see them being embedded in weapons or armor anymore. Why? Because the power hierarchy on the Douchi continent is incredibly strict. A high-level fighter can easily crush one from a lower level, and no matter how powerful your weapon or armor is, it's almost impossible to bridge the gap. That's why everyone is obsessed with using monster cores to refine pills to level up their strength instead. In the original novel, the foundation building elixir is described as one magical liquid designed to lay a solid groundwork for a person's future cultivation. And you're right, it's actually a liquid form of an alchemical pill. This makes it much gentler on the body, allowing Xiao Yan to absorb its power without the risks of taking a solid pill too early. The way you use the foundation building elixir is pretty unique. You don't just swallow it, you pour the liquid into one large basin of water. Then, you soak in it just like you're taking a bath, absorbing the massive energy from the water directly into your body. This allows Xiao Yan to cultivate safely while his skin soaks up every one of those powerful medicinal properties. In the original novel, Yao Lao sensed that Xiao Xun'er was approaching the area. To avoid being detected, he quickly retreated and hid back inside the spatial ring. It was only 1 split second before she arrived, showing just how cautious Yao Lao had to be to keep his existence a secret. In the original novel, Xiao Yan straight up asked Xiao Xun'er how much cash she had on her. Xiao Xun'er tilted her head and asked, "Do you really need it that badly?" Xiao Yan admitted that he was just one small step away from having enough for what he needed. Xiao Xun'er didn't even blink. She told him she still had over 1,000 gold coins, and offered even more if that wasn't enough. Xiao Yan quickly waved his hands and said it was plenty, promising her that he would pay back every one of those coins as soon as he could. In the original novel, Xiao Xun'er's expression wasn't as calm as you see here. It was actually the very first time she saw Xiao Yan so embarrassed about asking for money, and she found it quite refreshing. There was another reason for her reaction, though. Ever since his power dropped to 3-star Doujiji 3 years ago, Xiao Yan had kept his distance from everyone. He had built up one giant wall around himself, even pushing away the two people who cared about him the most, his father and Xiao Xun'er. So seeing him finally reach out for help felt like a huge breakthrough for her. At this moment, Xiao Xun'er realized that the Xiao Yan who used to spoil her was finally back. This was the very first time in 3 years that Xiao Yan had invited her to go shopping together, and she was over the moon. But Xiao Xun'er was greedy. She didn't want to just be a sister to him. She wanted to be the one and only girl by his side. Alright, everyone, that's all we have for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please smash that like button. It really helps out the channel more than you know. I'll be diving into even more hidden details from the Battle Through the Heavens novel that the anime skipped, so if you're a fan, you don't want to miss one single episode. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.